Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with day 16 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And today's sketch is brought to us by Janet Fritz, which is Galaxy Girl Creations, and you should definitely check her YouTube out because she does some amazing things. The Dotty About Flair prompt for today is journaling. So I decided I was going to use this Echo Park Happy Fall. I just got it for Christmas and have not used any of it yet. So I still have a full 12 by 12 sticker sheet and then the entire paper collection. I also brought this quarantine sticker sheet down because this is going to be Thanksgiving 2020 that I'm scrapbooking, and so that will come in handy. And then these are some pretty little Studios Indian Summer vellum die cut leaves that my friend Anne Marie gave me. And then I cut this out of some of the Echo Park paper from this kit and that brown shiny paper back there. And I'm going to use this pumpkin instead of the heart that Janet has on her sketch. So there's only 2 pictures and a journaling square in her sketch, but I'm going to use these 3 pictures and make it work because I really wanted to use these pictures on this layout. Originally I thought I'd do a circle, then I thought about a turkey, changed to a pumpkin, and that's where I am. So these are the Dotty About Flair that I want to use. I haven't decided if the green in the trees is going to work on this layout, if it'll go well enough with the Echo Park colors. So we shall see. I've got my papers and some stickers, my embellishments, my sketch, and let's see how this goes. So the first thing I did was open up the kit, and like I said, I really have not used any of this other than to pull that paper right there out and cut the base of the pumpkin out. And I'm going to use that. I already have plans for a layout with that pumpkin paper with the pumpkin cut out, and I'm really excited to have that come to fruition when I get it done. So originally I thought I would put a paper behind the pumpkin cutout paper, but instead I put the pumpkin on top of the paper, if that makes any sense. I cut my pictures down as best as I could. The 2 mostly squared pictures are 4 inches by about 3 3/4, maybe a little bigger than that. They're not fully square, but they're close. And I used some of the leftover shiny brown paper to mat them. And I don't know if you just saw that, but I did use the piece where I cut the stem for this pumpkin out, because I am all about using that kind of paper and not wasting. I hate to waste. If I can use a piece of paper, I am going to keep it. So I first set these down like this, and my plan was to set them side by side and then put the long picture next to it instead of the journal. But instead, I stack them on top of each other because I don't want to overlay the pictures much because, there's people in pretty much every bit. So to mat the longer picture, I gutted a little bit of this red paper. The back side is like a floral, which is why I picked the red paper, because I'm not a big floral person, and I thought that was the least likely to be used layout or paper for me. So plus I do like this red. So I stack these 2 pictures on top of each other, and I cover where that pumpkin is not completely covering the hole that I cut, and I'm fine with that. I washi tape the back so that it will not get caught on things. And I tuck in the stem of the pumpkin, and since it is, it's obvious to see it, and in person it's shiny and lovely, but I felt like since it was so dark and that red is so dark, I end up taking a Jelly Roll 0.8 in white and trace around that entire pumpkin. Actually, I started by just tracing around the stem and then go and trace the whole pumpkin. So right now I'm just matting that other picture, and I tuck it in as far as I can, leaving a little of the pumpkin underneath, because in the sketch she's got the point of the heart is coming out. I'm going to fix that because it started to look ridiculous to me and I didn't like it, so I ended up fixing that. But I trace around the pumpkin as far as to the pictures with this white Jelly Roll. just so it adds a little bit of, especially on the stem, it just shows that, where one thing starts, one thing ends. Then I get out the 12 by 12 sticker sheet that came with it, and I also have those Pretty Little Liars leaves up above and my Dotty About Flair. And there's only a couple of leaves that are going to work. So the first thing I did was put down this little pumpkin with some leaves around it because the embellishment on the sketch looks like that. I didn't pay enough attention to notice that it says in that sketch, in that top part of where the heart is, it also says title there. So I missed that part. Don't worry, I'll fix it. So I sketch around with this brown zig marker or zig pen just to give it a little definition in the parts that kind of blend in, because the sticker base is white and so is parts of that paper. So I decide I want to stick with the concept that the sketch has. So the sketch is a large heart, and then it has 3 hearts as the triangle effect. One in the top right portion of the heart, and then one at the top left and bottom right of the picture clusters. So I am going to do that same thing except with pumpkins. So I have this one round pumpkin that's got like a green plaid behind it, and it's a circle. And then another one that is just the pumpkin, and they're both, the one that's just a pumpkin is white on the outside, so it's going to go well and stand out. And then the green would have been fine, but I really wanted some dimension, and I don't have any. Other than my flare that'll be coming on, I don't have any dimension that really goes with this collection. And I was going to dig out some of my pumpkin gemstones and just change my mind. I think I'm really just looking for not necessarily easy, but kind of laid back and reasonably simple. It's been a crazy week, and I'm trying to get prepared to go on vacation in a couple weeks and want to get all of my stuff done, but I don't want to rush through anything. So I put both the round pumpkin and the white outlined pumpkin on the bottom up on a small amount of foam, and I put those down where you see them. And then I take one of these Pretty Little Liars vellum leaves and I tuck it behind the pumpkin. And then I look through the rest of them, and it's like pink, bright pink, and a purple and a blue and a light blue. And none of those really go. So this one green one I feel goes well enough. So I just put a little glue to where I'm going to be tucking it so you can't see the glue through the vellum. And I just tuck it in right there behind the pumpkin at the top. And I really like the way that looks. It adds a little texture to the page, as well as just a little something different. So now I am studying the sketch, trying to figure out what I want to do. And I think this is when I realized, oh, where am I going to put the title? It doesn't have any place for a title. Oh, yeah, it does, Kristen. But I printed it in black and white, and it's kind of blending in a little. I mean, had I paid enough attention, I would have known. So I start to pull this pumpkin up that's up here, not to get rid of it, but just to maneuver this title up here. And I have to move it a couple of times because I don't want it in the red. I want it to be completely inside the pumpkin. So I get it maneuvered over enough and tuck it in there. And it's just got all these different shaped trees. And then it just says, "In all things give thanks." And I love that. It just kind of really fit for what I wanted to say here. I will have other layouts about the food, and later on that evening we got together and played games on a Zoom and everything, so I'll be documenting that stuff too. So the other, giving thanks and Thanksgiving wasn't necessary for this layout. I just really thought the fact that we were able to find a way to work it out to still see each other and have some kind of a Thanksgiving really meant a lot to me and my family. So I decided to go with this green treed Dotty About Flair. The green is not exact, but it's not right on top of anything except the trees in the pictures, and it definitely matches those. So I am perfectly thrilled with it. It brings a little bit different texture, and the tree shape is similar to some of the trees in that In All Things Give Thanks. So I'm looking over the sticker sheet to see if there's anything else I want to add. Do I want to put something in the top right corner? Do I want to put any more clustering? I just really wanted to see if there was anything else to add. So I pull out off of the quarantine, I pull out this arrow, and it's pointing both directions. It says 6 feet apart. And in that long bottom picture, each of the families are standing 6 feet apart, but we're still taking a picture as a family. So I put that there. And then to bring that same reddish color in, I brought this family time, because that's exactly what we're doing. We were having some family time just out on the porch, or out on the pad of my mom's house. So we were outside and distanced, wearing masks. So we were being about as safe as we could be, and exchanging food. Each of us made our own part of the Thanksgiving dinner and then put it in dishes for everybody to take home with them. So it was the best way for us to be able to still keep with being together. So there was this half of a circle that has like the little COVID cooties on it, and I used the other part of it on another layout and thought this would be perfect to tuck in here. Just it has that yellow from the family time and that red. So I went ahead and I matted it on this brown because that red was going to be right against the maroon, and I didn't want that. So I matted it on the same brown shiny paper, and then I'm just going to tape this and tuck it in between, right there between the two pictures on the left. Just as a little extra pop of color over there, as well as, to tie in with the rest of the COVID part of this. Because if you saw this and didn't know it was during COVID, you'd be like, what in the world are these crazy people doing? So, let's see. So I put away the rest of my Dottie About Flair. And I get out these journaling cards because today's Dottie About Flair prompt is journaling, and I have now taken over the space where that little journaling card was going to go. I thought about journaling all the way around the layout with a white Muji pen. Nope, a white Jelly Roll pen. But I changed my mind and decided, because I don't like how the pumpkin is just peeking out so little right there at the bottom, that I would use a journaling card. And I had some that are holiday specific, and I thought I'd use one of those, but none of them work for me. So I got this one out that says hello, and it's just got the little dot grid on it. And I tore it to where I could still use the hello on the other side if I want. But I got the dot grid, which is white, which is what the paper and all the stickers have on them is white. I didn't want like a dingy or off-white. So I just tape it and get it right under there. And I tore the end because I just thought that gave it a little extra texture. And then I just journal. I had to look at the date to verify. I wanted to make sure I had the right date. And I just wrote the date, and that Thanksgiving looked quite different this year because we all made certain parts of the meal, put it into portions for each family, and then met socially distanced at my mom's and traded meals. We love to see each other, grateful for that for sure. And I even left all of my writing and the journaling down. This layout took me less than 45 minutes. And the only reason it took me that long is because I was way late a couple of times. And I really was trying to think about what more is more is more I could do, until I decided that I really didn't want more is more. And I wanted it to be more family focused and just really focus on these pictures. So while I am finishing up my journaling, I will say, please go in the description box and follow along with all the awesome scrappers who are hopping along. This has been such an awesome month, and the amount of layouts that are on 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life and the Dottie About Flair Facebook pages is astounding. It is just every day. I'm just so impressed with how people take a sketch and do things that sometimes they look so much alike, and other times it's like, you can see where they got things, but it just does not even look anything like everybody else's, which is awesome. So I put some pictures down to cover up my pictures and a little post-it note on top of the title because I don't want speckles all over that, at least where the words are. And I use my walnut stain in the Distress Oxide and just tap it out right there where the title is, because that's what it looks like in the sketch. It also has some over right on top of the picture, but like above the left corner, but I didn't want to do that. So here is the sketch again. Like I said, please go check out Janet Fritz Galaxy Girl Creations. She has some amazing layouts, and she is also posted below because she is part of this awesome hop. So there is my sketch, and I hope that you all enjoyed this. And I would love for you all to like, subscribe, any kind of comment would be amazing. And I am grateful for you all staying here and watching this video. So have a great day, and I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. Happy scrapping!